have done it.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the instant match reaction. That's a bit more like it, isn't it? Newcastle United have just beat Bradford City 4-1 in the Carabao Cup. A successful defence so far, first time out of the trophy we won last season. And how nice was it to enjoy a game with attack and play, with actual goals in the game rather than just 0-0 draws. We forgot all about it, didn't we? It's great to feel it again. Let's run through in a second. We're live tonight as always, guys. Make sure you join us in the chat. There's loads of you in there already. And smash subscribe as well. Help get us to the next milestone. We are closing in, I think, on 11,700. I think we need to update this little ticker here on the bottom. Mark is somewhere lurking in the background, making notes of his admin tasks to do. But yeah, that is one. So yeah, help get us to that next milestone, guys. I've got a great prize for the 12,000 subscriber prize. It might have something to do with the Carabao Cup actually as well, just to give you a little bit of a teaser there. But let's get stuck in to the lineup then. So as I said in the preview, Cup lineup's a little bit like Guess Who. You can flick the bloody names down and guess who it is. But we were kind of close with the lineup. So Aaron Ramsdale started in goal. The back four was Emil Kraft. I got that one right. Malik Chow, I think I got that one right. Lewis Hall, I got that one right as well. That's all we've got. That's really hard to read. I'm half asleep, so I've had a terrible day there. So who did we have? Botman as well. Botman was at the back. My God, this is just blowing my mind, this starting lineup stuff. The midfield three, Lewis Miley kept his place. Bruno Guimaraes came back into the team. Joe Linton came back into the team. And the front three was Will Asula leading the line with Anthony Gordon, who's back. Obviously, can play in this game because he isn't suspended for this game. He is back on Sunday, I believe, which would be interesting. And Anthony Elanga came in. So we're kind of right with most of the team as well. The Bradford team, I'm not going to lie, I didn't know much about them. But if you didn't know already, Cook on the bench was a Newcastle fan because, my God, did the commentator talk about that loads tonight. And we'll get into Cook in a minute, by the way. But yeah, that was how it went. But we started the game really well. Good crowd as well, good atmosphere for the cup game. There's a lot of tickets going free. People were offering people tickets to me as well. I was working away today. I was, my God, the miles I've covered today. I've been to bloody Derby, I've been to Stoke, I've been to Manchester, I've been to Lancaster, and I've come back home to watch the game. I only just got in about 10 minutes before kickoff, so I was knackered when I came back. But worth the wait, worth the drive to watch us beat Bradford 4-1. But we were dominant. You were dominant right from the start. You could see the quality was there. Lovely bit of build-up play in the midfield. Some nice passing and movement between Bruno, Joe Linton, and Lewis Miley, who I can't believe had to turn off comments of his post recently because he was getting stick from Newcastle fans. My days, honestly. What is it about? What is it about? Honestly, I would have done a rant today if I had time about that. I may possibly still do it, but that's the best tonic Lewis Miley can do today, is to play a good game of football and shut these fucking idiots up, really. There's 19 years old, the kid is 50 games for his hometown club. Honestly, just ridiculous. But anyway, that's the negative stuff. Let's get back into the game itself. So again, we looked hungry for this. We looked up for it right from the off, really. You know, loads of good passing movement. We're really putting some pressure on Bradford. They did go down the other end as well and nearly scored, to be fair. I think Ramsdale makes a couple of good saves as well, just tips one round the corner as well. But we just looked like we had way more quality than they did right from the off, really. And the goal came on the 17th minute. So we're pressing hard. Loads of nice build-up play. I think Miley was involved with it. Bruno Guimaraes was involved with it. Anthony Gordon then takes a kind of snapshot at rolls to Joe Linton. It's a lovely finish. He just pokes it right into the bottom corner. And you're thinking, right, here we go. Lift off 1-0, Newcastle United. And then blink and you miss it. 2 minutes later, Will Asula with, my God, I couldn't believe this goal when I saw it, right? This is Will Asula, who can just as easily do this as he can spanner a shot. It'll hit the strawberry window, even if he's shooting towards the bloody Leazer's end. The ball goes through. It's a beautiful pass by Bruno Guimaraes. There's a nice little bit of passing movement before that between the midfield. And the through ball is absolutely quality. It just, you know, it fucking whistles as it goes through. It was that pretty, honestly. It goes right through. Will Asula runs through. And it's a beautiful finish under the goalkeeper. If this kid could finish like this every other week, my God, we wouldn't even be asked about Alexander Isak leaving the club. It's a beautiful finish under the goalkeeper. And we're 2-0 up, but we're in control. We're purring. You know, we've got about 75% possession of the ball. You know, there's some feisty tackles going in by Bradford, but they cannot get anywhere near Newcastle United. Bruno Guimaraes is stroking around the pitch like it's an exhibition game. It's like he's a Harlem Globetrotter or something like that. He looked absolutely classy, really, really did. And we went in at 2-0. And, deserved so. We could have been 3-0 up, a ball come through. I think Miley scooped a lovely pass. I love a scoop pass, as Mark will tell you in the comments. He scooped a lovely pass over to Will Asula, could have had another goal. And then I think another ball comes over the top, possibly from Lewis Hall, I think. And he gets another chance, and the keeper makes a good save with his leg. So Will Asula could have had a hat-trick before half-time. But we go in 2-0 up. We're dominant. Bradford don't really look like they get anywhere near this game, to be fair. Just the Premier League quality, I think, just shone through. And then we come out in the second half. And again, we're dominant again. We're playing with the ball really well. Bruno's dancing around. He's doing pirouettes. He's doing little 1-2s. He's doing everything really, chance after chance after chance. And then we have to wait a little bit longer for the goal this time around. It's the 75th minute. It comes to Joe Linton again. It's a lovely bit of play. Bruno Guimaraes involved again. Nick Voldemort was screaming for the pass. He slips it through, and then he puts it away. Joe Linton puts it away on the 75th minute. And then Lewis Miley actually had a good game up until this point. He was involved. He was in the sixth row. He was playing really well. He was tackling. He was doing well. He was winning the ball back. He was passing the ball really nice. Even some forward passing from Louis Miley, which was good. He then decides to do this ridiculous little scoop ball out from over the top. And it falls to Andy Cook, the Newcastle fan that the commentator kept telling you about all night. And he hits probably the best goal of the night, this absolute thunder bastard in off the crossbar, which then results in Aaron Ramsdale steaming out, raging, screaming at Lewis Miley, and rightly so. I don't care if he's 19 or not. You don't fuck around like that in your own box, sunshine. But we go up the other end. Fair play to Lewis Miley. Didn't go hiding. He got the ball again. He tried to make things happen. And, Harvey Barnes had come on. He had a couple of chances. He's gasping for a goal as Harvey Barnes. He's almost trying too hard to get a goal. It used to be quite natural for Barnes, but at the minute it's really hard for us. Nick Gordon's trying to get a goal. Now he can't quite get a goal. Nick Voldemort wants to come on and get a goal. Some lovely link-up play by Nick Voldemort, dropping deep, little 1-2 passes. The players look like they were starting to read his game a little bit more, which is a really good sign. Then we get the fourth goal. Harvey Barnes puts a beautiful cross across the box. At this point, Will Asula is now playing right wing. He cuts inside and he slams it in the back of the net, and it's 4-1. And rightly so. Newcastle United just deserved this game completely tonight. We were more dominant. We were a better team. We weren't playing within ourselves. We weren't going flat out, which is the perfect tonic, really, for the massive game against Arsenal at the weekend. I think that, we did enough tonight to get that result. I said in the preview we needed to batter somebody. We just needed to remember how to score goals and be dominant and be confident and have some lovely, smooth attacking play. We needed that tonight, and that's what we got tonight. We got a very comprehensive win. It could have been 5 or 6 quite easily on another night, a bit like what Brighton did the night at Lincoln. So this is good tonic for us going into that game against Arsenal. Like Sven Botman's played a lot of minutes tonight. Malik Chow looked good again tonight. I think he was very quick across the back line. Was Malik Chow. I love seeing pace back there. It excites me. I ain't gonna lie. Seeing a bit of pace back there, as much as I love Share and Burn, knowing that as a kid that can catch somebody at full pelt is very, very settling for me at the back as well. So they had good games as well. Looking at the kind of scores on the doors in terms of the old sofa score of the players. I mean, Joe Linton obviously gets the highest one because he's got a brace tonight. Will Asula's up there as well with a brace. In terms of Lewis Miley, in terms of the game, because he has had a bit of stick leading into this game, so I'm going to cover this. So 92% passing accuracy from Lewis Miley tonight, 3 key passes. In terms of his defensive duties, he won 3 of his 5 ground duels and 3 of his 4 aerial duels. So I thought he had a good game tonight in the 6th role, even though I kind of agree with Mark's point. We were talking through the game, and Mark would like to see Lewis Miley a bit further up the park. I think he may be a little bit wasted in the 6. He's almost kind of in between the 6 and the 8. He's not quite got the pace to be in the 8, but he has got that ability. He was passing forward again tonight, which was nice to see. But man of the match, we're getting to man of the match, guys. You tell me who your man of the match is, even though Joe Linton and Will Asula have got a brace each. I'm going to go for Bruno Guimaraes. He was rested at the weekend. He come in tonight, and he was just the Bruno that we all know and love. He always wanted the ball. He was always wanting to make things happen. The touches, the movement, that build-up for that goal where he has a lovely outside of the foot pass. Is it Tino Livramento? It might be. And he then gets into the box and then he flicks it on the outside of his foot and it hits the bar. That would have been one of the best goals I've ever seen. And, at St. James's Park. It was absolutely class, despite the fact it was against Bradford City. No disrespect to them, but it was a brilliant move. So Bruno Guimaraes tonight, he's got 2 assists. He's got a 92% passing accuracy, 4 key passes. In terms of his defensive duties, he won 5 of his 8 ground duels. in that regard. 2 out of his 2 dribbles, he hit the woodwork once, big chance created as well. I thought he was excellent tonight, Bruno Guimaraes. He was playing like a Harlem Globetrotter tonight. It was like exhibition stuff from Bruno tonight. It was absolutely class. So he's my man of the match, guys. Let me know who your man of the match is. Let's get some of your comments up there. Marcus is in with me. He says Bruno is man of the match for the first time for a long time. Absolutely. Vincent's saying, are we doing the cup draw? I think we are going to hang on for the cup draw, Vincent. It's in the background. I've got it in the background. I am running on fumes after my busy day today, but I've got in the background there. They're just salivating over Arsenal. I think Eze is getting interviewed there, so I'll keep an eye out for the draw and we'll have a little look there. Marcus also says Asula showing confidence. I like it. Yeah, he is against lower league opposition. He always does, mate. He always does. Wiggles is saying Bruno was class tonight, man of the match with me. Miley not far behind though. He was excellent. Nice to see a bit of Miley love as well. Wiggles. Millsy 123. I enjoyed that. Me too, Millsy. Me too. Hyperbole Mark 2 has become a member. Thank you very much, Hyperbole. Appreciate that. I think you said you had your account taken off you or something. Yeah, this is what you had there. Where is it? New account, new me and all that bollocks. Miley is so very... Oh my God, that's brilliant. I love that. I don't even know if I can say that, honestly. I might get kicked off YouTube. George is saying, good win for confidence and showing the players the route to goal. Now to do that twice at the speed for 90 minutes of the Premier League, please. Yeah, we don't want much, do it, George. We don't want much at all. The Clon lads are now. It's good to see you, buddy. Professional performance. Absolutely, I agree with that. Carlos Wright, Walter Marder, touches and hold-up play is unreal. He's going to get so many players in the game. He really is, mate. I think looking at that, there was loads of good signs of how good he can be. I mean, you've got to remember he's just come into this team. He's just come into this league. He doesn't know who fucking Bradford City are. He's playing in this game. He's probably getting kicked by some lad who's, no disrespect, is levels below Nick Voldemort, and he's going, fucking hell, what's going on here? But he comes back all the time. He shows for the ball, lovely little touches, nice little 1-2s. He was screaming for a back heel, wasn't he, from Bruno for Joe Linton's second goal, I think, as well. But it'll come for Nick Voldemort. I'm happy with the way he's going. I really, really am. Dan's there saying happy for the Cook lad achieving his dream by scoring St James's Park. Absolutely. I mean, fair fucks to him. We won the game, so I'm not really bothered about that. But if we'd lost, I would have been living. James Cookby saying, even from Baku, Chris, even to you too, Bonnie lad. Thank you very much for joining us all the way from Baku. There's me moaning about driving to Stoke, and you're here from Baku, mate. You've really done me over there. Croc has gifted 5 of more memberships. Thank you very much, Croc. Really appreciate your generosity, buddy. Joe Wilkinson's become a member. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you for clicking that button, and welcome to the Evermore Madhouse. Steve Evans is saying, love the third man running, using by Big Nick as the wall. Hope to see more of this. Yeah, he's absolutely class. I'm really, really impressed with him. Dean is saying Andy Cook is married to his pal's sister. Massive Toon fan. Pleased for him. We're happy that we look dangerous all night. Yeah, brilliant, Dean. We'll give our best to Cook and tell him, brilliant strike. Tell him Chris from Evermore says that was a thunder bastard, mate. Well played. Kevin is in the house. Good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. Yeah, we're getting you from everywhere now. Thank you very much, Kevin. I hope the weather's nice in Florida for you, Bonnie lad. Yeah, George is saying man of the match is Bruno. Big Al agrees. Bruno as well. Classic JJ's is watching from Panama, Black and White Army. Hey, we're getting exotic and international tonight. If any of you guys have joined us from Toon Review land as well, we love the lads at the Toon Review and Lady Sam, of course, who's an absolute ledge. So thank you very much to those guys for recommending us to you for your live post-match reactions. So we hope you enjoy what we do on the channel as well. Chippers is in the house. Chippers is saying, I'd like to have seen Alanga stretch his legs a bit more. Yeah, he was a little bit disappointing, wasn't he, Chippers? Alanga. He just looked a little bit unsure of it tonight. I mean, what's he got? He's got a 7.1 on SoFA score. Let's have a look at some of his stats here. So you're an 89% passing accuracy, which isn't too bad. 3 key passes, 4 out of 5 crosses went in, 1 out of 1 long ball, 2 big chances created. Where's his dribbles? That's what we really want to see. Where is his dribbles? Yeah, dribble attempts, 0 successful out of 3. So that isn't good for a winger. If you look at him versus Anthony Gordon on the other side, what was Gordon tonight? Let's have a look. So Gordon, I thought Gordon was busy tonight. He looked quite good tonight. 91% passing accuracy. Yeah, Gordon, 3 out of 4 dribbles were successful. So that's the difference, isn't it, between the two of them two tonight? But yeah, Alanga's got a way to go. I don't think he gets back in the side against Arsenal. I think that that's Jacob Murphy all day long for me. I think Jacob Murphy will be back in the side. Antagonising Geordie has been a member for 23 months and Bruno's man of the match for them. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. And thank you for being the member for so long. Daniel saying selection, should we be resting players for cup games against League One opposition? I would say so, mate, yeah, because you got to rotate the squad, Dan. And those lads have done well tonight. They've played really well. Unless you're saying, don't play Botman and don't play Hall and don't play Chow. Maybe that's right, yeah. You could have played, I think I called Lascelles in the preview, didn't I? As opposed to Botman or Chow. But, he's obviously played the two of them. Maybe he's just trying to give them more game time. And maybe he's intending to bring Burn and Share back in, for the Arsenal game at the weekend. I think he'll stick to the three at the back like he did tonight. I think that's how we'll probably line up against Arsenal as well. So, yeah, I would not be surprised to see that at all. We've got Steve Rackham in the comments, chuffed with the goals, but still need to work on the finishing as Premier League is few and far between. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, mate. It's a different level the Premier League is. Kendo saying some of the football was sexy as fuck. I think it really, really was. John is saying he thinks Miley needs a loan out to develop. If we're going to keep him, we're going to stifle him. If we get him proper game time somewhere, he could be better than Anderson. I don't disagree with that, John. I think that's a very constructive criticism of Lewis Miley. I thought tonight we saw a lot more confidence from Lewis Miley, maybe too much confidence in terms of the pass for the goal. But I think he got involved more. He looked forward to pass. Some lovely passes out wide, some lovely passes over the top as well. Will Asula. Miley needs games. He needs confidence because the ability is there, but the confidence has to be with it as well for the kid to probably fulfill his potential. I don't disagree that, if Jacob Ramsey maybe had stayed fit and if Joe Willock hadn't regressed, quicker than my hairline, I think maybe Lewis Miley might have gone out on loan and that might have done the world of good going to someone like Ipswich, for example. With the way McKenna plays football, I think he would have really excelled there, pushing for a championship title, taking control of midfields, playing every week. Come back to Newcastle in the summer and be twice the player. But I think that ship has sailed, really. We need Lewis Miley now as part of this squad because Joe Willock is nowhere near the level that we need for the games that are coming. Jacob Ramsey, the jury's out in terms of the injuries. Is he injury prone? We don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see. But I think, a run of games will do Lewis Miley the world of good. These two games back to back, one really tough away game in the Premier League, did really well, looked after the ball in the entirety. Not very courageous with it, but maybe felt he couldn't be. Tonight, he was more courageous with it because he felt he could be. If he gets 15 minutes against Arsenal the weekend, maybe as well. And then we've got, Union Saint-Gilloise in the Champions League next week. Maybe gets a start in that game. We don't know. But the more games Miley gets, I think the better we'll see from Lewis Miley. And hopefully he can start turning some of those opinions around from some of the fans that doubted him. It's okay to doubt him. It's okay to criticize him. Don't abuse the lad. I know none of you guys probably do. Some of these weapons on social media, man, we get it as well. I get it in the comments. I do a video and I maybe say something like, I don't know, Joe Linton really worked hard today, but needs to work on his finishing a bit. We need more goals from him. And then I'll just get some troll just abusing me, going, you say Joe Linton shit, fuck you. I'm like, you haven't listened to a word I just said. You haven't even watched the video. You just heard two words and just went, comments and slagged us off. That's probably what they're doing to Lewis Miley as well. So bit shit, really, in all fairness. But it is what it is, isn't it? There's not some very not nice fans out there, to be brutally honest with you, of all clubs. Tim's in the house. Tim's saying Walter Marder was great. Really good link-up play. This guy's going to be a monster for us. I think he is, Tim. Absolutely. I don't disagree at all with that. Mark Higgins is saying, looking forward to Big Nick and Wissa playing in front together. I think that could be absolute quality, Mark. I think with Wissa's running, his ability to pull on the shoulder, Voldemort dropping deep, slipping them little passes we saw through tonight, that could be goals galore, mate. Absolutely class. Antagonizer says there, Walt Holder play is absolutely classic. Hyperbole has gifted 10 Evermore memberships. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. Gary Dixon saying, Chris, tune review back on at 10:10 for the cup draw, mate. Fair dues, fair dues. They'll be back on at 10:10 for the cup draw. They'll be on very, very soon then. Another comment there from Shay is saying, what do I think of Walter Marder, Chris? I thought he gives an extra bit of oomph when he come on. Yes, I really like him, Shay. I think he's got loads of good attributes. I think he's so calm on the ball. He gives me the Berbatov vibes. He really does. I think he's really composed, quick feet, a real good football brain, a radar that he can spot passes and he knows what he's going to do before the ball comes to him. I don't think he's a proper kind of out and out centre forward. He's more like a 9.5, I think, as I've heard him be described. And I agree with that. A little bit like Harry Kane, can drop deep and bring others into play as well. But hopefully we'll work on his finishing too, and he can get a bit more involved with getting goals. But the early signs are brilliant. And I think, we were all livid when we didn't sign Sesko. I think we've got the better young striker from Germany, I think, in this regard, because I think this kid is absolutely brilliant, to be fair. John's agreeing with me, says, the abuse is disgraceful. Born and bred, Jolie, lots of natural talent. We should have his back 100%. John, I don't disagree with that at all. I think it's just shocking, man. I don't even think half of these guys are Newcastle fans. Are just wanks. DLH is saying, Miley played well. A little mishap. Happens to the best of players. I think more game time would be good for us. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Dave is saying he thought Sula looked good on the right. You think about Sula, he does look good in moments, then he just disappears, doesn't he? And he does something stupid, but he looked quite good. Tonight there was good moments from. It probably is on Sky Cush, I think, in a moment here, to be fair. But I think the tune review are back on, as to say there, to kind of cover the draw. We'll try and cover it if we're still on when they're doing it. They're just salivating over Arsenal. I've just seen Eze there. Why didn't we make a move for Eze, man? We're crying out for creativity. What was he, 65 million? Adahoyed 70 on the table, and just try to fuck it up, and just see if we could have got him. What a player he is, man. Unbelievable. Comment there from Tabao Tamayo. He said he thought Miley showed extreme control and composure. Other than the intercepted chip, he was Newcastle's metronome, allowed both Joelinton and Bruno to hoover upfield and remain threats to Bradford. That's a brilliant comment, Tabo. I absolutely agree with that, mate. I think he was great. I mean, in the 6th role, I mean, he's not Sandro Tonali. That's a high bar. That's a high bar for anybody to be measured up against. Kid's 19. He's played in the 6. He's played in an 8. He's played in a 3-man midfield. And I thought he was really good tonight. I mean, granted, you've got to say the opposition a lower league, so you kind of got to put that in there, as a little bit of mitigation. But, he was calm. He was calm against Bournemouth, though. He didn't look rattled against Bournemouth either. That's Premier League opposition. That's top 4 Premier League opposition. So, yeah, I think there's a really good player in there. And I think the more he gets games like this, the more he gets the confidence, the more I think he's going to grow into that role. He's only 19 years old, not even 20 yet. The Lewis Miley who broke through at 17, was this scrawny kid, but he had quality, the ability to spot a pass. He's filled that now. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's putting in tackles. The Lewis Miley at 2021, who knows how good he could be, loan or not, no loan, he could be absolutely brilliant, to be fair. Comment there from Garson, would love to see you unedited on BBC Match of the Day. Is that Lineker? Okay. But you would be fab. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that, man. I don't think they'd have me on, mate. I might have to go on some Roby YouTube channel to do a Match of the Day where you can swear, potentially. But I have been on TV a few times last few months, and I don't swear on the TV. I do watch what I'm doing there, to be fair. So I'll put the old censorship up. Thank you very much, Dennis. Really appreciate that, Bonnie lad. Hyperbole is saying, as he won't leave London. Doesn't bother me if you don't travel north. Fuck him. Yeah, not true. You never know that. You never know that he would have done, he wouldn't have done. But I'll tell you the player I would go for, because these lot look fucked. Jared Bowen at West Ham. I think West Ham look relegation fodder. And if I was Newcastle, I'd be all over Jared Bowen in January. I really, really would. Marcus has been generous again tonight, gifted 10 whatever more memberships. Thank you very much, Marcus. You absolute generous soul, you honestly, mate. You're like Santa Claus. You're like the Santa Claus of YouTube comments. You give so many gifts, mate. So many gifts. Yes, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate that, buddy. Really appreciate that. Right, scrolling down here, guys, trying to cover as many comments as we can. We're just gonna talk a little bit of fluff, I think, aren't we, before the draw comes on. Yeah, well, Trickster doesn't agree with the Miley comments there. He's saying anyone who says Miley is the future is deluded, not good enough. Well, that's your opinion, Trickster, isn't it? I mean, people said that about Elliot Anderson, and now we're all crying that we can't get him back, to be fair. But he does agree with me about Jared Bowen as well, as does Rex Reynolds. I would definitely go for Jared Bowen. I think he's a brilliant player. And John says the same. Cheeky bid on Bowen in January. I mean, I know people are going like, oh, well, we've got Elanga. Well, Elanga's not tore up any trees yet, has he? Let's be honest with you. But Jared Bowen is next level shit. Jared Bowen is goals, assists. He can boss, top 4 Premier League teams. Jared Bowen for me would be an unbelievable signing for Newcastle. And he came here, didn't he, under Bruce? Well, he nearly signed under Bruce. And then old fat lad wouldn't sign the paycheck, would he? And we didn't get Jared Bowen. But to be fair, if we had signed Jared Bowen, I think he would have been gone by now anyway, to be fair. Dean thinks that Potter was a dead man walking, but the West Ham squad is absolute pony. It's like pony, mate. It's pony, mate. That's what they all say to West Ham fans. Well, you fucking shit, mate. And fucking fucking Graham Potter won't have Harry Potter, mate. And fucking shit, mate. That's what the old West Ham fans will be saying in the booze, I'd imagine. And the old booze in a better cruiser, mate. Fucking sick of it, mate. We're going down, mate. We're going down. That's probably what they'll say. But I do feel for West. I do like West Ham as a club. I know I'm taking the piss, but I do like West Ham as a football club. I think they're a great football club. But yeah, Graham Potter is dreadful as a manager. He really is. He was good at Brighton, Potter. You know, he was linked to England as well. He should have took the England job. That's what he should have done. He should have left Brighton, went and had a little sabbatical. Everyone would have still thought he was mint. And then he could have went and got the England job. He went to the poison chalice that is Chelsea. I mean, fuck me, it's safer to sip a goblet in a Game of Thrones dinner party than it is taking the Chelsea job. That is going to murder you on the spot as a manager, as a young manager. Oh my days, honestly, I wouldn't go anywhere near it. You know, the Chelsea job is an absolute horrendous job. Maresca will get fucked in a minute as well. He'll be nailed if they lose 5 or 6 games. I think he'll be in big, big trouble. Marcus saying, Danny Dyer will have you. He come sort me out. Come sort me out, Mark. Break my fucking kneecaps, mate. He probably will, mate. He probably will. Marcus is saying, Graham Potter has dropped big time. He has. He really, really has. We've got another comment from Shay. He said, what do I think of Ramsdale, Chris? I thought he was a bit more assertive in goal at parts compared to Pope. Certainly when the ball came to his feet as well, Shay. I mean, you don't feel nervous, do you, when the ball comes to Ramsdale's feet, because he's got ability. You know, he can't pass the ball. He's got good control. He's smart with it. He's clever. He's confident. He's calm. You know, so I think that is a good thing to have from a goalkeeper. I think the first shot that they had, he palmed around the post. I thought was a little bit of a newspaper save. To be honest, I thought he could have caught that with his hands, but he just looks calm in goal. Ramsdale probably will take that spot over Pope, I think. You know, Pope's an injury away or a rick away, I think, from losing that position, really. But, you know, until he does, he's going to be in the sticks. He started the season well. Trixie says Ramsdale's head and shoulders above Pope, latter a liability. Well, you know, let's just hope that we don't have a massive rick from Nick Pope in the near future. He has had them before. Roger's just back from the game. Professional performance. Yes, brilliant, Roger. Hope you enjoyed it, mate. Looked a bit nippy tonight, I must admit. Everyone had the old jackets and scarves on. A bit nippy tonight. Droffy1 is saying, what pay 50 million or so for Bowen, approaching 29, no selling value, but I agree, good player. Mate, we'll sell him to the Saudis. Saudi Arabia will buy him for 50 and sell him for 30 to Saudi Arabia, mate. Job done. You know, that's what we do. We need to be doing more of that. Sign these players who are 27, 20 and then sell them to the fucking Saudi Pro League for 30 million quid. Fuck the Premier League. What are they going to do about it? That's fair market value, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's exactly what I'd be doing. Damn right. Absolutely damn right. John is saying Ramsdale over Pope, especially when we have more of the ball. Pope's still good when we are under the cosh, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think he just trusts Pope, doesn't he? Just trusts Pope so much that he won't drop him until he just makes an unbelievable error or he's injured. You know, and Pope has been injured, to be fair. And I think that's probably what Aaron Ramsdale will need to get his chance. But I think his chance will come. I really do. I think he'll end the season as the number one. I think I've said that for a while now. You know, I was a bit cagey when we signed Ramsdale because he's had a bit of a bad turn, and he's had a bit of a wobble. But I think, you know, looking at it now, I think that he just needs another chance to almost reset. There is a good goalkeeper in there. It was England's goalkeeper not too long ago. Arsenal's number one. I think there is still a good goalkeeper in there, you know, and I think that there's a real good chance that he could be Newcastle's number one for years to come. I tell you something, penny of the thoughts of James Trafford, though. He must be sick as a chip. You know, I was saying this to my mate earlier on today when I was doing my muchos miles driving around, and I said to my mate, could you imagine if you're James Trafford, you're all signed, sealed, set up, ready to go to Newcastle. I'm going to be Newcastle's number one, probably be there 10 years, playing under Eddie Howe, you know, help me beat England number one, all that kind of stuff. Oh, by the way, Man City have just at the last minute revoked this weird clause that means they can buy you back. But don't worry, Pep Guardiola says Edison's leaving, you're going to be the man. Oh, brilliant, happy days. I'll go back to City, be the man. And Donnarumma comes in for 25 million quid. He must be fucking livid. On top of Ekatike, who also must be livid. I must say this, and I'll say this while we're killing time for the cup draw. The whole Ekatike thing and Isak thing is making me laugh my nuts off. It really, really is, because Ekitike signed for Liverpool because he thought that Isak was not coming to Liverpool, and he thought he was going to be the main man. He's already maybe scored his first goal, and he was doing all this before Isak signed. Now Isak signed, he scores the goal. He takes the shirt off and shows the shirt to say, I'm the man. Stupidly, he's already on a yellow card and he gets sent off, thus being suspended, allowing the player that he doesn't want to take his place in to take his place. That is absolute soap opera waiting to happen, that is. I'll tell you, Ekitike will kick off fuck through the season and he will be gone by the end of the season. He really, really will. And serves him right for being greedy bastards, in my opinion. So I think the draw is on now, guys, isn't it? We are ball number 14. As Mark has put in the comments. Let's hope we get a good draw here. So stay with us, guys. Whoever's still here, stay with us, and we will have a little look. And the comment there from Thabo saying he's loving the pain. Trafford is surely feeling right now. Absolutely. I mean, I don't blame Trafford for it. I think it was more this weird clause, wasn't it, that they had in terms of him, getting back to City. We should be putting clauses like that in, man. Honest to God. Like, why didn't we do that for Elliot Anderson, for God's sake? Vincent's saying, it's nice to see you in a good mood today, Chris. Not that I don't enjoy your rants when we're dross, lol. Absolutely. It's nice to be in a good mood. I'm very tired, Vincent. I must say, I have drove some miles today, mate. Very, very tired. So who have we got? Who's doing the draw? Who is this doing the draw? Let's have a look and see who we got here. Oh, Jamie Redknapp looks really excited playing with balls there, doesn't he? Probably made a joke. Right, here's the first one out. You guys might be ahead of me and my TV stream. What are we on here? Arsenal. Oh, yeah. Mark's already slightly ahead of me. They got Brighton. That's a great tie. Arsenal v Brighton. That's a great tie. That'll be a brilliant tie to watch, won't it? Absolutely. That's what we've got now. So Arsenal v Brighton's already out. What's the next one? Keep an eye out for us, guys. Oh, Mark's jumping the gun here. Grimsby and Brentford. That's a good tie as well for Grimsby, that Brentford. Brentford will be looking to have some kind of success in the cup this season because they've had a lot of players whipped away from them. Wiggles saying his wife loves balls more. His ex-wife Wiggles or his new wife, because he did well on both, mate. To be fair, you got to give Jamie Redknapp that, pal. I'll tell you what, he certainly did well in the old wife's stakes. That's a great tie. Swansea v Man City, a good tie for Man City as well. But that's a great tie for Swansea having those bad boys in the cup as well. I think are we up next, I think? Oh, yes, we are home. Come on. Who we got? Let's have a look. Oh, Spurs. Oh, no. We got Spurs at home. Oh, yes, Mark has confirmed it. Newcastle versus Spurs in the fourth round, guys. To be fair, we have a very good record against Spurs at St. James's Park. So I'm not massively sad about that. I'm not massively pissed off about that at all. I think, it could have been a lot worse. What we got here? Let's have a look. Mark is also laughing about Ekitike versus Isak. Definitely handbags by Christmas. I totally agree with that. Did you see Isak's post-match interview as well? He's got no crack at all, has he? He's just such a boring twat. Like, he's like robotic, isn't he? I was listening to him talk. I just thought, what a fucking boring robotic wank he is. What a brilliant tie. Wrexham v Cardiff. Tasty. What's a caring on that one, mate? That is a brilliant tie. And it's weird though with the whole Wrexham thing. Me and Mark have a bit of back and forth on this. I didn't buy into the whole Wrexham thing. It passed me by. Like when people don't watch like Game of Thrones or something like that because everyone tells them to watch it. I didn't watch Wrexham because everybody told me to watch it. And then the way that the media were kind of salivating about it, about Hollywood FC, I just couldn't be arsed. Couldn't be arsed with it, so I just said, fuck it, I didn't bother watching it. So come on, Cardiff, fuck Deadpool and the other guy from Philadelphia, whatever that fucking show was. Liverpool Palace, yeah, that's a good tie as well. I fancy Palace in that, mate, to be fair. I really do. I fancy Palace completely. I do not fancy Wolves in that fixture because Wolves are shit this season. Yes, absolutely, Dean. I hope Palace do kick Liverpool out of the league. Absolutely, yeah. Vincent says they tend to struggle against Palace. Absolutely. Chippers was talking about some farming animals. I think, and Marcus says he's Welsh. Superb. Wickham v Fulham. I don't really give a fuck about that, to be fair, but fair play to Fulham. That's a good one for Fulham there. A comment there from El Capo saying it's happened again. Tottenham Hotspur, it's happening again. Let's hope so, mate, because it'll be very, very good if we can put them fuckers out and get them out of the way. That'll be very, very good. I think we could have had a worse tie. We could have had a much worse tie than that. to be fair. So I think Spurs at home isn't a bad tie at all, to be brutally honest with you. So I will take that. I will take that. So yeah, I mean, this game tonight, you know, I don't think, I'm just thinking there, do I do an aftermath or not? I don't know if I do really, because I think we've had enough time to really talk about this game and kind of weigh it up really. So I don't think an aftermath is probably necessary really. But ties are going to be played on the 27th of October, as Mark says there. So that'll give us not too long to wait until this next round of the Carabao Cup. But I think what it showed tonight, and against Bournemouth as well, I think it shows we now have a better squad for rotating players. We can rotate players. We can take our captain out of the lineup and still get a good result against Bournemouth, despite being disappointing in attack. And then we can bring him back in and blast away a lower league team in the cup and win comfortably. So I think for me, the squad depth is much better. The worries about attacking or clicking in the attacking third in the Premier League are still there, but this result would have done us the world of good for confidence going into the game on Sunday, which I will be at. So you'll have Mark on the post-match duties for you on Sunday, because I will be hopefully a good 3 or 4 pints in and very cheery that Newcastle have beat Arsenal once again at St James's Park. Fingers crossed. It'll be a tough game. I will bring you the preview. It will be me for the preview, but Mark will do the post-match for you on Sunday. But yeah, I think tonight shows the squad depth is there. It shows that we can rotate. It shows that we can still get performances by, moving some of these players in. Marcus is saying vloggers, Chris. Well, one, Marcus, the Wi-Fi shit in St James's Park. I'm not one of the fortunate few who has the Wi-Fi code. Some other people do. I do know who they are, but they haven't told me what it is. But yeah, I don't have the Wi-Fi code. And secondly, that would be a very interesting blog. It'd be very slurry. I did watch Rob Rubenstein, who's a lovely lad, by the way. If you don't watch Rob, most of you probably do. I've had a few pints of Rob before. He's an absolute legend of a bloke, just the nicest, most friendliest guy I've ever met in my life. And I saw his vlog when he was down at the Carabao Cup, and I loved how he just got more pissed with every video they come through. I thought that was absolutely class. But yeah, I won't be doing that, guys, to be fair. So Mark will be on, and he will be doing the post-match for you, and he will be a lot more coherent than I will be, I'm sure, on the Sunday. Thank you, Vincent. I will enjoy the match. And Mark said, drunk Chris live from St James's Park. Can't get a signal, Mark. You know that better than anybody. Yeah, and Marcus does know that the Wi-Fi is shit at St James's Park. Hopefully the new stadium will be much better whenever that gets built. Who knows? Maybe I'll be alive to see it. Who knows? Because it's all gone very quiet in the Old Western Front anyway. But it's a good night tonight. It's a good result for Newcastle United. We're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, where we've got Spurs at home. Some of the fringe players are starting to get more game time, starting to show us what they can do. Couple of goals for Willisula, a couple of goals for Joe Linton, which is great confidence going in to Arsenal at the weekend. We'll be back to cover the preview for that in the next couple of days. And as I say, Mark will be on live post-match for you on Sunday. Make sure you tune in for that. Give me some love in the comments. And then I'll be back probably with an aftermath after that game and tell you what I think about it as well. But keep it evermore. In the meantime, guys, like and subscribe down below. It's all free content. If you want to become a member, like some of you have done tonight, and some of you have been gifted tonight, we'd love to have you on there. We'll do a members draw soon as well. I've got some little trinkets to give away, some shirts, some bits. So we'll maybe do a little bit of a members draw as well for you loyal members who have been with us for quite a while, and some of you new ones who have just arrived as well. But have a cracking evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. There's a few of you from international locations. Have a belter. We'll see you on the next one. How are the lads? Great victory on the next round. Cheerio.
Heroes celebrate. They have done it.